Welcome to the Baha'i program. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own antenna to receive channel 11 and maybe another antenna to view channel 5. Now you may wonder why this has anything to do with the Baha'i faith. Well, I'm going to tell you at the end of the program. Now this is Mark 6. I've showed you how to make antennas before, but this is the simplest. I'm going to show you in 3 minutes how to make your own antenna. So please get a paper and pencil ready now. Buy some copper pipe. This is copper pipe. I bought this from TMO Hardware. You buy it in 10-foot lengths. So not only can you make your own antenna, you can make one for somebody else and probably sell it for more than you paid to get all the parts to make it. Now then, what you will need is the copper pipe. You'll need maybe a little PVC pipe and a coupler, a T-coupler. Now then, this is how to make the antenna.50 strip some wire. Here's some wire. This is regular antenna wire, RG 58, I think, 59. This is actually RG6, which is slightly better quality. If you can get RG6, get RG6. Strip some wire off, and then wrap a piece of extra wire from the middle around the shielding. So this is pretty much how you want it. And then you have to feed this through your T. So feed it through like this. And then feed. So we get both sides of the T, we get the wire poking out. Now you may need a screwdriver or something just to help you get the wire all the way through. It's just poking through on this side too. Now then, put an end cap on your copper. Now, that's just to stop the rain from getting onto the inside of the pipe. That's the only reason for that. Now, the other end, don't even connect the wire. Just allow the friction of the pipe going into the T to squash it against the plastic, and that'll give you a good connection, and it'll last you for years. So, let's get that pipe into the T, and then we have a similar piece of pipe for the other side. Measure across from tip to tip. It should be 2 feet 4 inches. That's 28 inches from here to here for channel 11. Now then, the wire, you have to strip the other end in order to put a connector on it to connect to your TV. So this wire should be long enough to reach from the antenna to your TV. Here's a piece of the other end which is stripped, and I'm recommending a twist-on connector because you don't need the special tools to crimp it on. You just put it on like this and screw. Now get a piece of plain PVC 1/2 inch pipe, and you can feed your cable and connector through there. And believe it or not, that is your finished antenna. I'm going to test it just to make sure that it works. And I have a special test set for that purpose. You won't have one at home, but if it doesn't work, then you'll have to figure out why. The center frequency for channel 11 is 201 megahertz. And if you look at this screen, you will see a very large peak at 201 megahertz. This antenna is working. Now then, to get this antenna high, you'll have to get some pipe, probably some 1-inch steel pipe like this. Water pipe would work very well. And to get the antenna fixed to the water pipe, why don't you use 2 hose clamps? There is your antenna on the pipe, and then just put up the pipe as high as you can if you live a long way away. You don't really need a fringe antenna here, which will cost you a lot of money. Those fringe antennas are for picking up signals 100 miles away. I don't think anybody lives within reception 100 miles from Channel 11. Everybody is either going to pick it up by line of sight, or there's a mountain in the way. It won't matter how good your antenna is. So if you are within line of sight of Waitangi, then this antenna will work very well for Channel 11. Now, if you're going to go to Channel 5, then you need a bigger antenna, a longer antenna. In fact, as I told you, this one should be 2 feet 4 inches. That's 28 inches from tip to tip. For Channel 5, you need 5 feet 11 inches from tip to tip, which makes it a much heavier antenna because this copper is fairly heavy. So I suggest, instead of putting PVC pipe in the middle, you could do it that way, but why don't you just squash this right into the top of the pipe, and there is a Channel 5 antenna. Now you'll probably find that you get very good reception on this Channel 5 antenna, even for Channel 11. If you're within line of sight, it'll be good for either. So if you live somewhere between Channel 5 and Channel 11, this will probably be your best bet, so you pick up both stations and get all 8 digital channels. Now then, I said this was a Baha'i program, and the purpose of Channel 11 is to proclaim the message of His Holiness Baha'u'llah, that the Promised One has come, and this is why I want you to be able to pick up Channel 11 for the proclamation that we broadcast. Now, quite often it's just an hour or so a day on the channel, which is carried also by cable, Channel 11.1, but on 11.4 there is Baha'i music 24/7. So if you have a Channel 11 antenna, you can pick it up. And in order for some strain relief, so you don't pull the cable out from the antenna, I suggest you put a little loop on the bottom and just tape the wire around here so the weight, when you pull this cable, isn't pulling the antenna down through the tubing. So I hope now you can make your own antenna. Please let me know how well it works.